Yo, what's up, guys? We're back with another video today. And yes, guys, I know, I was gone for like 3 days and now I'm back making a prediction video. I know, crazy, guys. But in today's video, guys, I'm going to be giving my predictions for this absolutely stacked fight night card. Marvin Vettori versus Roman Dolidza. This is one of the weirdest rematches I've ever seen. I have no clue why this is happening. Like, Marvin Vettori's last win was Roman Dolidza. I have no clue why we're redoing this matchup. It was only 2 years ago, so it's so weird, but I guess they didn't really have anyone else for Marvin Vettori or Roman Dolidza. I don't honestly know why they made this matchup, to be quite honest with you. And the rest of this card is just like, and I just can't be bothered sitting here for like 20 minutes talking about all these fighters in depth. So I'm going to make it quick with some of these fighters, but I will give some notable thoughts on some of these fights. And also, if you're wondering what's up with my voice, well, I was screaming a lot yesterday. I had some activities going on. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, starting off with the first fight, Yanze Duben versus Carly Justice. To be honest, I actually am somewhat interested in this one. Because I remember I watched the Dana White Contender Series, and I saw a betting odds between Dubé and this other lady. I don't even know her name is. She's not even UFC. But basically, I looked at the fight and I was like, holy moly, this is like Kayla Harrison 2.0. Because the lady was ripped. We're talking Kayla Harrison type of ripped. And I was like, yeah, there's no way Dubé is going to win this fight. She was like a plus 900 favor or something like that. It was crazy. And the other lady was like a minus 1,000. She was a bigger favorite than Islam was against Hanato Moicano. Let that sink in for a little bit. But yeah. And then Dubé goes in there and knocks her on the first round. That was actually kind of crazy. And Dana lost his mind. It was actually a nasty knockout. I will give her that. And she's fighting a lady who's like 3-2. She actually has less MMA experience in her pro career than this lady does. Dubé has. Actually ridiculous. And I don't understand why the betting odds are like. I don't know. This matchup's like a little bit weird to me, but I think it's a very good fight for Dubé. So I'm going to go with Dubé by decision. I don't think she's going to knock her out. I have a very weird suspicion of that. She has a lot of knockouts in her career, which is very good for a women's fighter. But I don't think she's going to knock her out, to be honest. I think she's going to get this win by decision. Alright, next up, Josan Nunez versus Pixaria Cotiria. I honestly don't really... Yeah, I don't know about this one. I'll go with Nunez by decision just because I think she's... I guess more like, I don't know, honestly. I like she's Brazilian, I guess. She's got the buzz cut, I guess. That's really what I'm going with here, to be honest. And she's a better fighter than this other lady. She has a better record, I'd say. So I'll go with her by decision. All right, next up, Daniel Perez versus Andre Lima. I actually am somewhat interested, but not really at the same time. I don't know who Daniel Perez is that much. I know who Andre Lima is, actually. So I'm just going to go with Andre Lima. And honestly, from the fights I've seen from Andre Lima, I actually think he's somewhat better. And he actually has a better record right now than Boraz does. So I'm going to go with him by decision as well. Alright, next up, Stefano Lucano versus Sam Hughes. I'm going to go with Stefano Lucano by decision as well. Again, we have a lot of women's fights, especially to start with this card, actually. Actually kind of surprising to just put them all at the bottom, but whatever. I'm going to go with Lucano by decision just because she's younger. She has a better career, at least. She has like 1 or 2 fights in her UFC career, but it's better than like who Sam Hughes has like fought, in my opinion. So I'm going to go with Lucano by decision. All right, next up, Carlos Vera versus Josiah Masasera. I had to pronounce Josiah's name like 5 times, actually. It was actually really hard saying his name, but I'm going to go with him by KO in the first round, to be honest, actually. I don't know why. I just have a weird feeling this one's actually going to be a knockout. I actually think for this main card, especially for this fight night card, we're actually going to see a fair few of knockouts, to be honest. I actually think that. And for the prelims, I don't think we're going to get that many. Apart from this one, I actually think this one and another one I'm about to talk about are going to have some knockouts in the prelims. So I'm going to go with Jasuna Masasera by TKO in the first round. Alright, next up, Son Yeon Yu versus AJ Cunningham. Now, this one I didn't really care about at all, to be honest. I didn't even know this one. Like, most of these fights, to be honest, I didn't know who they were. But then I was on, like, the MMA news or whatever, and I saw AJ Cunningham saying, or a news saying, AJ Cunningham has successfully made bantamweight after previously fighting at lightweight. And I was like, what? You're telling me this guy fought at lightweight, 155 pounds, and probably was cutting weight there as well, and then goes down not one weight class, but another, and makes weight. And I was like, hold on, let me look at this guy's record. And I look at his fights that he's done at either in the Day and White Contender Series or in the UFC, and they've both been by KOs. Mind you, they were at lightweight, I think. I don't know about the Day and White Contender Series one. I didn't look that one up much. But when he fought in the UFC in his last fight, he got KO'd at lightweight. So... And I looked up Son Yu's record. He doesn't have many KOs in that career. He doesn't have that many KOs in his career. But I think this is a free win for him to get a knockout, right? Because the dude's cutting down 2 weight classes. That's actually insane. I've actually never heard that before. Like, I can't remember when I've heard something like that happen. And I'm amazed that he made weight. Actually, fair play to him, but that's super dangerous. He should not have done that. I don't know why he's doing that. And he's probably going to get knocked out. So I'm going to go with Son Yu. I was going to go with KO in the first round, but I'm going to go with round 2 KO. But I think this is the easiest lock for a KO ever on this whole card. Alright, next up, Wado Cortez Costa versus Ryan Spann. Now, I thought Ryan Spann was going to easily win this fight, and I am still picking him by decision. But I look at his render photos for like his fight with Costa, and I see that he went up like 20 pounds. And I'm like, oh, or 50 pounds, sorry. And I'm just like, oh my god, this is not good for him. This is like, because I thought he was going to go like the Kennedy route where he'd have some weight on him, but he wouldn't go crazy. He'd be like 230 or something. But no, he went to like a normal heavyweight weight. He's got just a fat belly. He's still got the muscle all over him. He's not like fat like Costa is right here in this image, but he's pretty up there. But still, I'm going to go with Ryan Spann. Even though I'm a little bit worried, I still think Ryan Spann is just much better than like any of these unranked heavyweights. Alright, next up, Sangwoo Choi versus Kevin Vallejos. This one is actually pretty interesting. I am actually pretty interested in this one because if you guys don't know, Kevin Vallejos is 14-1 in his record, but that one loss he has is against Gene Silva, and I'm like, hold on, did he get finished in that? No, he went to a decision, and he took a round off of Gene Silva. He looked actually pretty good in that fight, and I'm like, okay, man, maybe this guy's actually legit. And I think he is. And I think they're giving him a free win for his like debut in the UFC against Choi. This guy's like 11-7 in his career, so I think they're just gonna give him a free win just to see how he looks, you know. And honestly, I kind of think that he's gonna knock him out in the first round or second. I'm gonna go with like first round TKO or something like that. I don't think he's gonna like KO him like instantly, but I think he's gonna rock Choi. He's gonna put the pace on him or like pressure him, and then he's gonna get a TKO finish. Like the ref is gonna stop it. So I'm gonna go Kevin Vu Joy by first round TKO. Alright, next up, DR Nagaje versus Brenson Ribeiro. Now, here's the thing. Brenson is one of the worst fighters I have ever seen. His physique would tell you the opposite, because he has a lot of knockouts in his career. Well, okay. The physique would tell you otherwise, and just his look overall would tell you otherwise. And his finishes in his career would tell you otherwise as well outside UFC. So I was thinking, okay, maybe this guy's gonna be good. No, he loses his first 2 fights in UFC, and then arguably loses his third, but gets a controversial win. And then you have... And I don't know why I'm going to pick him. I have no clue why, but I feel like he's gonna. Especially because this Dair guy, he's fought absolute bums. This guy has literally fought. I'm looking at his record. His last 4 wins. Mind you, his last 4 wins, I think in total have like 40 or like 50 wins and 120 losses. Something like that. Crazy. Something like those numbers basically, where they have less wins and more losses. Something like that. And I'm just like, no. I'm not doing this. I'm going with Brenson. Alright, next up, Damon Blackshear versus Cody Gibson. I was gonna go with Cody Gibson, but I look at Damon Blackshear, and I look at his record, and I see he's fought better opponents. Both of these guys aren't that great, in my opinion, to be straight up honest with you. But I feel like Blackshear has fought better competition, I would say, especially in his last couple fights. So for that, I'm gonna go with Blackshear by decision. I don't know. This one's just a weird one to me. I don't know why. I don't know. It's just weird, this fight. Alright, next up, Alexander Hernandez versus Kurt Holibog. I was going to go with Kurt at first, but then I look up his record, and I realize he used to fight at bantamweight, and I'm like, what? And then I look at his career. Most of his career has been outside the UFC, and the times that he's been in the UFC, for the most part, he's actually lost. So I'm not picking him in this fight at all. I was very, on the nose with picking Hermanson. But then I look at this guy's career, and I'm just like, yeah, no. This is a Hernandez win for, like, an easy one. Both of these guys are just absolutely horrific. Alexander Hernandez, I don't, like, rate highly at all. He's just, like, a roadblock if you want to get up the rankings. And, yeah, I don't even see him as a gatekeeper in the lightweight division, honestly. He's not that good at all. But I'll go with Alexander Hernandez. I think he is just slightly better than Kurt is. And he's younger as well. All right, next up, Chiweri Nasi-Nona versus Alice Zaliki dos Santos. That is one of the hardest names I've ever had to pronounce, guys. That is one of the worst names I've ever had to pronounce. Honestly, who am I picking? I don't even know. I was going to go with Chidi. This is a terrible, like, prediction. Like, some of these picks are just like, God, I could get these wrong so badly. But this one's probably the worst. And I'm going to go with Dos Santos. I actually think he's going to do... He's fought better competition, and he's actually not on a losing streak. He had a draw, a win, and a no contest, and before that, he was on the 3-fight winning streak as well. So for that, I'm going to go Dos Santos by decision. I don't know, honestly. I don't know. This matchup's just weird. I don't like this matchup at all, to be honest. All right, now for the main event. The only thing that this card is, like, holding together. If this main event pulls out, this card is completely canceled. Marvin Vettori versus Roman Dolidza. This is just a matchup. I don't understand why it's being made, I guess. I guess they're just making this fight for Marvin Vettori to, like, come back and, like, just fight someone, I guess. I have no clue. I guess they didn't have anyone for both of these guys. But with this one, I'm going to go with Vettori. I don't view Dolidza that insanely. Yes, he has had some decent wins. He's on a 2-fight winning streak right now. He beat Kevin Holland and then Anthony Smith. But, like, those are some not great wins to have. Anthony Smith is not good anymore. We know this now. I'm an Anthony Smith fan, and that hurts for me to say. And Kevin Holland's just ass. Like, he's not good at all. I'm going to say it. He's not good at all. I mean, he has to fight some decent competition in middleweight. I will give him that. But, like, he just doesn't care at all. And, like, yeah, it was a broken rib. And maybe if Kevin Holland didn't get a broken rib, that could have changed things. Maybe it could have. I would have been interested to see that. But at the same time, I wouldn't. I just think Roman Dolidza would have won that fight regardless. And Roman Dolidza is also 36 years old. He's not getting younger. And Marvin Vettori, I didn't realize this. I thought he would have been like 34 or something. He's 31 years old. He's still very young. Like, that's actually crazy. And he is coming off a long layoff. Like, we're talking almost 2 years of a layoff. This is ridiculous. And I feel like he might look a bit rusty. I don't think he's going to look great in this fight if he wins this. I don't. But I think it's going to be because he's been off for like almost 2 years now. And honestly, like, I don't think this is going to be a fun fight. Like, most of these fights I don't think are going to be that great, especially with this main event. I mean, maybe it'll turn out to be a good one. Who knows? But I doubt it, and I just think that Marvin Vettori is just better than Roman Dolidza. Maybe I'll be wrong, who knows, we'll see. But I'm going to go with Marvin Vettori by decision. But guys, that is me giving my full predictions for UFC Fight Night, Marvin Vettori versus Roman Dolidza. Let me know what you guys saw in this video. Who do you think is going to win? Who do you think's not? Do you even care? I don't know. Are you going to watch this full card at like 10 p.m. at night? We'll see. Leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace!